I never believed in curses or glitches that could rewrite reality until the night I logged into her world and couldn't log out. It was a Friday, the kind where the office fluorescence had drained every ounce of life from me, and all I wanted was to sink into my gaming chair with a beer and escape. I'd been beta testing this new VR RPG called Elysium Shift for weeks. It promised total immersion, choose your avatar, build your empire, live the fantasy. I always played as the burly warrior type, broad shoulders, chainmail, the works. But that night, curiosity, or maybe boredom, hit different. The character creator had an experimental mode toggle. Unlock hidden archetypes, it teased. I clicked it, expecting some Easter egg. Instead, the screen glitched, pixels fracturing like shattered glass. My headset hummed, warmth spreading from my temples to my toes. I laughed it off at first, blaming the cheap rig. Then the room spun, and everything went black. I woke up sprawled on my couch, controller still clutched in my hand. The TV flickered with the game's menu, but something felt off. My shirt hung loose where it used to fit snug across my chest. I sat up, and long, auburn strands tumbled into my eyes, hair that reached my shoulders, silky and unfamiliar. What the? My voice cracked mid-sentence, pitching higher, softer, like velvet over honey. Heart pounding, I bolted to the bathroom mirror. The face staring back wasn't mine. High cheekbones, full lips painted a subtle rose from nowhere. My eyes were the same hazel, but framed by lashes that needed no mascara. Below, my body had reshaped itself, narrower shoulders, a cinched waist, hips that flared out in a way that made my jeans strain at the seams. And my chest, soft swells pushed against the fabric, undeniable and real. I poked one, expecting it to vanish like a dream. It didn't. Panic surged, hot and electric. I stripped off my shirt, staring at the stranger in the reflection. Smooth skin, no stubble, curves that screamed feminine. My hands trembled as they traced the changes, thighs fuller, calves toned like a runner's. Even my feet looked smaller, daintier. "This isn't happening," I whispered, but the voice was hers now, sultry, with a lilt that made my stomach flip. I grabbed my phone, dialing my best friend Jake. Voicemail. I tried my sister, Mia. Same. Alone in the apartment, I paced, mind racing. Was it the game? A hallucination? I rebooted the VR headset. Nothing. The character I'd chosen in that glitchy mode, a sorceress named Alara, with flowing robes and enchanting powers. Had I become her? Disbelief warred with curiosity. I touched my new lips, soft and plump. Ran fingers through the hair, real, not a wig. The mirror fogged from my ragged breaths. What if this was permanent? Fear clawed up my throat, but beneath it, a spark. What would it feel like to move in this body? I slipped back into my shirt, but it draped wrong, too boxy. In my closet, an old Halloween costume from Adair, a black cocktail dress Mia had left behind. I held it up, heart thundering. Just to test. The fabric whispered against my skin as I zipped it up. It fit like it was tailored for me. I twirled once, the hem swishing against my knees. A giggle escaped. Mine? Hers? The sound was intoxicating. But reality crashed in. Work on Monday. Groceries tomorrow. How do I explain this? I collapsed onto the bed, burying my face in pillows that smelled like my old cologne, now clashing with a faint floral scent my skin seemed to exude. Tears came, silent and hot. Who was I now? Ethan, the 29-year-old software dev? Or this? Alara? Sleep came fitfully, dreams of pixelated worlds bleeding into flesh. That was the shock. The beginning of everything unraveling. The next morning, sunlight stabbed through the blinds, mocking my denial. I avoided the mirror, pulling on sweatpants and a hoodie 3 sizes too big. The changes hadn't reversed. If anything, they felt more settled, like my body had accepted the rewrite overnight. My hair had grown another inch, waves cascading like in the game's loading screen. I needed food, meds, something to ground me. The corner store was 2 blocks away. I could do this incognito. Stepping out, the wind tugged at my hood, and I hunched my shoulders, but they didn't hunch like before. My gait felt off, hips swaying involuntarily. At the crosswalk, a guy in a delivery van whistled. "Hey, beautiful." My cheeks burned. I quickened my pace, but the sway persisted, drawing stares. Inside the store, the fluorescent lights felt like spotlights. I grabbed milk, bread, avoiding eye contact. At the counter, the cashier, a kid with acne, grinned. "That'll be $12.50, miss." Miss. The word hit like a slap. I mumbled thanks, voice cracking between registers, and fled. Back home, I devoured a sandwich, but even eating felt different. Lips more sensitive, bites daintier. Work emails pinged. "Ethan, confirm Q2 report by end of day." Panic resurfaced. I called in sick, voice modulator app on my phone to deepen it back to normal. My boss, Carla, sounded concerned. "You okay, buddy? Sound like you've got a cold." "Yeah, just under the weather." Lie tasted bitter. Family was next. Mia texted, "Movie night Sunday? Bring popcorn." I replied with excuses, heart aching. What would she say? Mom called that afternoon. "Ethan, honey, you sound different. Everything all right?" I faked a cough. "Allergies, Mom. Love you." Hanging up, guilt twisted in my gut. Hiding felt like betrayal. By evening, social tension built. Jake swung by unannounced, our ritual for game nights. I peeked through the peephole, seeing his lanky frame with pizza box in hand. "Dude, open up. I got extra pepperoni." My hand hovered on the knob. What if he freaked? Laughed? I texted from inside. "Not feeling great, rain check." He banged once more, then left, muttering. Alone again. Embarrassment flooded me. I curled on the couch, hoodie cocooning me, but the fabric chafed against sensitive skin. Confusion swirled. Fear of judgment, but also a whisper of intrigue. What if I leaned in? Days blurred. I extended sick leave, citing flu complications. Workplace whispers reached me via Slack. "Ethan's ghosting us." Carla checked in. "Need anything? We miss your code wizardry." I replied vaguely, stomach knotting. Friends drifted. Jake's texts turned worried. "Bro, you alive?" Family dinners were dodged with more lies. Outings were nightmares. Grocery run number 2. I tried binding my chest with an ace bandage, painful, restrictive. A woman in produce smiled sympathetically. "Rough day, sweetie." I nodded, voice muffled, fleeing with half my list. Stares followed everywhere, whispers at the coffee shop. "Is that a guy or?" Embarrassment burned, but so did anger. Why hide? Yet fear won, keeping me locked in. Nights were worst. Alone, the apartment echoed with my thoughts. I'd pace in the dress, feeling the silk kiss my thighs, excitement bubbling despite the terror. But daylight brought reality, a life disrupted, identity fractured. I was Ethan, but this body screamed otherwise. Confusion peaked one night, sobbing in the shower as water traced curves I didn't ask for. When would it end? Or had the game changed me forever? That's when secret exploration began. The walls of my apartment became my sanctuary and laboratory. It started small, innocent. After that shower, I stood dripping before the mirror, towel slipping. Instead of averting my eyes, I looked, really looked. The curves weren't monstrous, they were elegant. Like Alara's avatar, designed for grace. I dried off slowly, fingers lingering on smooth skin, electric tingles where calluses used to be. "Okay," I whispered, voice now fully hers, resonant and warm. "Let's see what you've got." The closet held treasures I'd ignored. Mia's forgotten bag from her last visit, makeup kit, lingerie, heels. I started with lipstick. Cherry red, the tube cool in my palm. I uncapped it, scent of wax and berries filling the air. Internal debate raged. This is crazy. But, why not? I leaned in, tracing my lips. The color bloomed, full and inviting. I puckered, blew a kiss to the mirror. A laugh escaped, genuine, freeing. Next, foundation. I watched tutorials on my phone, voiceover guiding, blend outward for seamless coverage. My hands, now slender with tapered nails, followed. Powder dusted like snow, highlighter catching light on cheekbones. Eyeshadow, smoky grays, blending with a fluffy brush. Mascara lengthened lashes that fluttered like butterflies. Stepping back, the face was transformed, sultry, confident. "Hello, Alara," I murmured, voice practicing inflections, higher for flirt, lower for command. Clothes came next. I slipped into stockings first, nylon whispering up calves, snapping at thighs with a satisfying tug. The sensation was intoxicating, silk hugging like a second skin. Then panties, lace, midnight blue, cradling hips that swayed as I moved. Bra followed, underwire lifting, straps adjusting with a click. I felt supported, enhanced. The black dress again, but now with accessories, a choker necklace, dangling earrings that tinkled softly. Behavior experiments unfolded. I practiced walking, heels first, one foot before the other, hips rolling. The click-clack on hardwood echoed triumph. Voice training, apps for pitch modulation, but mine adapted naturally, laughs lilting, sighs breathy. Internal thoughts swirled. This feels wrong, no, right. Empowering? Terrifying. Small discoveries piled. Nail polish in ruby red, drying under a fan, fingers splayed like art. Perfume spritz, vanilla and musk, clouding the room in femininity. Evenings turned ritualistic. Dim lights, light candles flickering shadows on walls papered in faded blue. Makeup became meditation, liner sharp as daggers, blush rosy as dawn. Outfits evolved, a silk camisole over jeans, blending worlds. Sensory overload. Fabrics caressing, scents enveloping, mirrors reflecting a stranger who felt familiar. Excitement built incrementally. First a pose, then a dance to slow jazz, body moving fluidly, curves accentuating every twist. One night, I delved deeper. Wig? No need. My hair grew daily, now past shoulders in glossy waves. I braided it, fingers nimble, then let it fall. Internal dialogue. Ethan would hate this. But Alara? She thrives. Curiosity peaked with roleplay, imagining dates, dialogues. Hi, I'm Alara, I'd say to the empty chair, voice confident. Reactions in my head, smiles, acceptance. Embarrassment lingered. What if someone saw? But in privacy, it faded, replaced by thrill. Discoveries compounded. Body lotion, vanilla-scented, massaging into legs that gleamed. Jewelry box raids, rings slipping on fingers, cool metal grounding. Even posture changed, back arched, chin up, exuding poise. Each session ended with removal, makeup wipes erasing, clothes folding away. But the spark remained, curiosity morphing to craving. What if I took this outside? The apartment shrank, walls closing in. I needed air, real-world tests. Personal growth started with baby steps, weekends my playground. First outing, park at dawn, hoodie and leggings, hair in a ponytail. No makeup, just lip balm. Birds chirped as I walked paths, body moving with newfound grace. A jogger nodded, morning. No stares. Victory, invisible. Anxiety hummed, but excitement won. Back home, I journaled, felt free. No judgment. Emboldened, Saturday market. Subtle makeup, tinted moisturizer, mascara. Flowy skirt, sneakers. Stalls buzzed with vendors. Try this scarf, dear, it matches your eyes. An old woman draped it, smiling. I bought it, heart soaring. Interactions built, bartering for fruits, casual chats. A guy at the coffee cart flirted, oat latte for the lady with the killer smile. I blushed, but replied smoothly. Extra foam, please. Small win, confidence budding. Anxiety blended with thrill, what if recognized? But no one did. Weekends escalated, brunch solo, cafe with books. Outfit, sundress, sandals clicking on pavement. Strangers' glances were appreciative, not suspicious. Internal shift, this is me. Comfortable. One afternoon, a group of women invited me to join their table. Love your vibe. We laughed over mimosas. Names exchanged, numbers too. Anxiety spiked at first, voice slip, but flowed naturally. Public experiments grew, mall shopping. Tried dresses in fitting rooms, mirrors whispering approval. Bought heels, strappy, 3 inches. Practiced in aisles, wobbling to striding. Victory, check out without tremor. Home, I modeled, twirls, poses. Comfort deepened, anxiety receding. Social events, art gallery opening, invited via new friends. Little black dress, red lips. Mingled, discussing paintings. A man approached, you're captivating. Flotation danced, excitement electric. No commitment, just practice. Internal, Ilara shines here. Ethan? Fading memory. Confidence surged, weekend hike in activewear, leggings hugging, ponytail swinging. Summit view, empowering. Blending excitement with lingering anxiety, but the scale tipped. I was growing, persona solidifying. Ready for more? Climax hit like a storm. Monday, back to work deadline. I dodged for weeks, but Carla emailed. In-office mandatory. See you tomorrow. Panic, hide or reveal. I tried hybrid, slacks, blouse, minimal makeup. But mirror screamed indecision. At work, heads turned. Whispers, who's the new hire? Jake cornered me in the break room. Ethan? Dude, what? Eyes wide, pizza forgotten. Tension peaked. Explain. I stammered, it's complicated. Game glitch. He laughed, then sobered. You look different. Good, but you. Escalation, team meeting. Carla. Ethan, updates. Stays bored in. Voice wavered. A coworker snickered. Humiliation burned. Choice loomed. Deny, flee, or embrace. Home that night. Confrontation internal. Hide forever? Or own it? Mia called, sensing distress. Come over. I did, in full Alara. Door opened, her gasp. Ethan? Tears, hugs. You're beautiful. But why hide? Emotional storm. Fear confessed, curiosity shared. Pivotal. I choose this. Resolution dawned. Next day, I walked into work as Alara, skirt suit, heels clicking authority. HR first, name change forms, pronouns. Carla supportive, we've got you. Team meeting, I stood tall. Call me Alara. She or her. Same dev, new rapper. Applause tentative, then genuine. Jake high-fived, badass. Acceptance rippled. Friends rallied. Mia threw a party. To Alara. Toasts, laughs. Community found, online forums, local groups. Juno from the gallery became more, dates, kisses under stars. Confidence bloomed, promotions, speeches. Positive changes, body mine, life fuller. Supportive interactions healed wounds. Chosen family, Jake, Mia, new loves. Empowerment solidified, I was whole. Looking back, that game didn't change me, it revealed me. Authenticity demands courage, but the reward? Freedom. If you're teetering on your own edge, take the leap. Self-acceptance awaits. You're worthy, as you are, or become.